Hello, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Figure It Out with Fatema, as I'm figuring things out and sharing them with you. Um, I hope that you're having a great Thursday and an awesome July. And with that, I think I can maybe go in the topic of today. So I wanted to chat about how why July's reset is very important. So this episode is more about, you can call it self-development or uh, career um, coaching, or because it's still like this is part. Those are the episodes where I kind of share like thoughts or how we do things as leaders, or what I've learned in life, or how can you improve, your quality of life better so that you can perform better in, like in your career. So I think with leaders we hear a lot about strategy, AI, transformation, and business results, but we rarely hear how we as leaders kind of reflect, reset, and prioritize. What do we do to make sure that the year doesn't slip, and how do we manage our goals to be successful? And I like to highlight on reflection a lot because this is something that I've learned in my MBA, and I've taken it forward with me like in my life. We had, after every module, we would reflect, write a reflection, can't remember what I call it, like report or something. And it taught me a lot. Like reflection is really important. So in the next 15 minutes, I'd say, I'd kind of cover five things. First is why a mid-year reset is really important. Um, and resetting is even more important than just sticking to January school regardless. Um, and also the questions that we ask ourselves as, leaders, and with all the demanding stuff we have in life, before we make decisions and move those goals around. Um, I also want to chat about goals and systems, and what I mean by systems and how I think about systems, because I think I apply them in a, I wouldn't say a unique way. Like I've seen other people apply them similarly, but I haven't seen a lot of people talk about that. Also how I use, because I'm in the AI and data in like profession, how I use AI to help me with my goals and the systems, especially to achieve what I want. And a practical framework that I personally use, right? So the fifth thing is just basically a practical framework, which is something that I personally use, and I hope it helps you. So let me start by this mid-year reset and why it is very important. So I feel like July is the realistic January, because in January we're so pumped and we're so like, oh, the sky's the limit and it's a new year and all that. And then by July, life has happened, right? Like the good, the bad, and the ugly. Things like a promotion, which you were not expecting. Um, I don't know, you became super healthy and you started running. Um, you managed to stick to your plan of eating healthy, which improved everything. But also, things might not have happened the way you wanted. You might have got really sick, and that affects some of your goals. Um, and I think that the thing with leaders is that we've learned to prioritize, or we learn to prioritize all the time and adapt. So we reflect and we just adapt, and we just move on, prioritize all the time. Like even with my team, I'm like, we're prioritizing every day, just because of the nature of, the profession of data and AI, obviously. But the best leaders don't execute strategy, they know when to change. So execution is a talent, but learning to change and pivot is such an important skill. and not everyone has it. And people who have it, they don't all apply it in their personal life. And this is the bit where I feel this mid-year reset is such an important point. So that's the first thing I wanted to speak about. Why resetting is super important, and why July is such an opportunity, because you come with all the learning that you've had through the year, and now you know that optimistic you in January have gone has gone that person has gone through a lot. The second bit is really, this one was like, the first thing is really understanding why resetting is important, and I hope that now we're on the same page. The second piece is really reviewing life and reviewing those goals now. So thinking about, rather than actually, okay, I had that goal and I wanted, don't know, I wanted to run a half marathon mid-year, um, which part of the health goals, but then life happened, fell sick, which is true, by the way, and that goal never happened. Um, could I have pushed it more? I no, I couldn't, because I was sick. I just got a virus, which happens to people. So I think it's just making sure to understand why that goal didn't happen. But also, some of my goals, they didn't happen because they weren't a priority at a certain point. So I had to shift some goals around. Um, and with I think with like thinking about my goals or what I want to achieve in a year, I normally put that into five buckets, and people are different. So you need to think about the buckets that you put your goals in, and how many goals you have, and how realistic they are, and what are their top priority goals, and what of them are just like directions as well. So I normally have health goals, career goals, obviously, but also I have some of the giving back goals. Like for me, this opportunity of chatting with you, or writing posts, or writing articles, I feel like that's super important. That's crucial, because that's part of my purpose. It's just sharing this data and AI knowledge. Um, and I think it is understanding the goals and why you want those goals, and actually using AI to help you understand, ask yourself better questions about those goals. Like, if I want to be healthy, why do I want to be healthy? Because I want, for example, when I'm older, I want to be able to do certain things in an easy way, and I need to build from now. And you can start asking AI. So rather than just like telling AI, help me um, with setting up a healthy goal, you can start asking, okay, help me set my own goal. Ask me the questions and challenge me. And that's the right approach, to actually work with AI as a buddy, rather than just, I guess, yeah, asking it to do things for you, really. But with that, I also want to focus on the third thing, which is, I feel like it's very important that people kind of miss, which we do at work, but we rarely do it in real life, which is goals versus systems. So I obviously, we have SMART goals. So if you're setting your own goals in January and you're revisiting them in July, it's good to kind of look back and say, have I set really realistic goals? Have I set SMART goals? Um, and do they make sense or not? Do I need to change them or not? But also, it is important to think about the systems that you've set to achieve the goals, because it might be that the goals were brilliant and you could have achieved them. It's just that you didn't have the right system. And I think this is where I feel like systems is how you, like, I like the acronym system, which I'll share with you now, which is, if I'm doing a system, for example, I'll go back to that simple healthy diet thing. So if I want to create a healthier lifestyle of food, I need to create the right system. And the first thing in the system, it needs to be simple, which means it needs to be, if I don't want to spend half a day in the kitchen, then it means that cooking needs to be simple for me, easy but healthy food. It needs to work for me. So the system, the why in the system is yours. It needs to be my system that works for Fatema. And it needs to be scheduled. So I know that I'm cooking or I'm doing this on X day. I'm running on those days. So I need to schedule them. And with scheduling, I do follow the I do time blocking, and I have colors in my calendar and all that, which is a whole episode in itself. But scheduling is really important. And if you don't know about time blocking, please look it up. It is such a great one, and it helps you kind of move things around. So simple, it needs to be yours, it needs to be scheduled, but also it needs to be tracked. Because if I can't track it, can't really see if the system works or not. So, for example, I go at the end of the day, I know what I've eaten, I can put it all into an AI tool, and then it comes back and it says, oh, yeah, you've actually hit your protein target, or no, well, you've ate a lot of carbs. Maybe you should switch those tomorrow for more proteins and swap this instead of that. And it gives me also options. So because it's trackable, I can evolve it, which is the E in system. So trackable, it can be evolved. And obviously, if I can evolve it, I can change it, I can adapt it. It is maintainable for me. It works for me. And because the system works for me, the SMART goal is more achievable. So think about it this way: goals give you the direction, systems determine if you will get there or not. Okay. So I think I've spoken about, okay, so far we've spoken about why July reset is important, why it is really important to ask better questions for your um, pillars or goals that you have. What is the difference between goals and systems? So if you have goals that are not smart, please go and update them. If you don't have the right system methodology, please define that journey and update the system that you're using. But the fourth thing is where AI also comes in heavily. So I've been very vocal that I use AI a lot. I actually pay. So I have personal paid version for both ChatGPT and Claude. And I use each of them very differently. So I use ChatGPT as my thinking buddy. So ChatGPT somehow, I don't know why, but it's just like, is the sky the limit? So we keep having those conversations together. And at the end, that goal that I have becomes like super clear, and I'm completely believe in it. And I go back to Claude, and Claude is my sensible, friend. So if I have crazy idea, I put it through a Claude, and then it comes back as like, that's definitely rubbish. Like it will not work, or it challenges, it stress tests those things. So this is how I use both of them, and I can play them against each other. By the way, so I'll put something in ChatGPT, put it through Claude. Claude will answer, put it back. So just have those conversations with Claude, and then put it back to ChatGPT and continue the conversation. So I don't ask ChatGPT to replace me or give me direction, or I have conversations with AI, ChatGPT, Claude, or there are also there are different ones, but I ask it to be my brainstorming buddy, so that when it responds, I respond back, and that way I'm having better conversations. It is a thinking partner. That's how I look at AI. And the last bit is, please think before December. Like now we're in July, you have a whole 6 months. Well, I mean, July is towards the end now. So five and a bit. And it's think how you can actually reflect, reset, create those goals. What do you need? What is the action plan? Do you need like a cup of coffee over the weekend in a nice cafe, and just start to work through your goals and through your plans? Or do you, um, don't know, do you want to sit somewhere, or grab a cup of coffee in the lounge, sit on the sofa and just start writing things? Or is it better actually to have it at your desk? So I think it's more about taking actions, rather than, yes, I think this is the time to start putting actions in and start to plan those things. Hey Abayumi, I can see your comment here. So yeah, if you're watching, please say hello and where you're joining from. um, so yeah, Abayumi is saying, reassuring our goals based on the existing system is a great one. So thank you. Yes, it is really important. I know I met Abayomi in the event at the University of Cambridge last week when I was on that panel. Lovely to have you, Abayomi. So yeah, if you're joining, please say hello. Um, so yeah, that is. I think this is what I wanted to chat about today, and I just wanted to give a bit of a flavor. What to really, I think, as leaders, yeah, how we plan our personal lives as well, because not a lot of people speak about it, and I feel there's a lot to be shared. But keep asking me questions. Like, I think I had that because someone reached out and they were saying, "Oh, it's this media, and I was expecting X, Y, and Z. It's not working. And do you have any advice?" And I was like, "Oh, that's a great topic for an episode." So please do share your thoughts. If you have any questions, just send them across on LinkedIn, and I'll make sure that I'll answer. Um, but yeah, with that, I'll just leave you with some of the thoughts. Please do reset. Um, think about July, mid-year. There's so much that we can do. Um, Look at your goals, look at your systems, speak with AI, and just take actions because the opportunity is there to turn the year around. And if the year is going brilliant for you so far, you can make it even better. Um, And with that, I just want to thank you very much. And I hope to see you in soon, another episode of Figure It Out. Have a great